S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is still alive, with the developers promising a massive story expansion this summer. Cost of Hope, the zone is calling us back again. But let's be honest, S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is far from perfect. It's rough, it has glitches, bugs and problems. It carries that heavy, sometimes frustrating technical junk, and yet we forgive it. I forgive it. Why? S.T.A.L.K.E.R holds a sacred place in the hearts of million gamers, especially across post-Soviet countries. It is not just a video game, it is a shared memory. A memory of rusty bus stops, deadly anomalies, and a rare, quiet moment around a campfire. But as I watched S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 try to modernize that memory, polishing the edges for a massive global audience, I realized something was missing. I didn't want the modern comforts. I didn't want the map markers. I miss the struggle. I miss the pain. Welcome to Secret Trails 2, a legendary archaic mode brought back to life on the stunning modern OGSR engine. It is hostile, it is exhausting, it forces you to walk in completely silence for 20 minutes with absolutely nothing to do. Today we are going into the beauty of the old school design and why every modern gamer needs to survive it at least once. I'll try to explain what is almost impossible to explain, because it's something you just need to feel. Let's put aside S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 first. What is the zone? It's not just a typical post-apocalypse like Fallout. The world didn't die, a specific piece of Earth went mad. A second explosion in Chernobyl created the zone, a place where the laws of physics don't work. It spawned deadly physical traps, anomalies, and priceless supernatural treasures, artifacts. Everyone has a reason to step into this nightmare. Some are chasing the easy money of artifacts, others are running from a rap sheet, looking to vanish from the law. Some just want to leave the boring world behind for a place where logic fails, where science breaks, and magic is too simple a word for the madness you witness. The zone is a unique place where everybody is stalkers. You aren't a chosen hero. You're a trespasser. You are here for cash or exploring or looking for answers which you never get. A fiction of people's imaginations. The illusion of a good life, if you like. But why do we enjoy this struggle? S.T.A.L.K.E.R only teaches you the basics of survival, not when or how often to use them. You have weapons and face many enemies, but combat is unpredictable. Your gun might jam in the middle of fight. You're not just fighting people. There are also terrifying mutants born from radiation and secret government experiments hidden deep underground. Your gear demands constant vigilance, and every moment beyond the safety of the base is a gamble with death. It's even worse for those who dare enter the hidden labs, where the remnants of horrific government experiments wait in the shadows. A-Life is another reason the zone feels alive. Modders are still trying to recreate the game as it was in early builds, where NPCs could even complete main quests for you. You may have seen Oblivion Lost Remake mode, where A-Life is crazy. Years ago, computers weren't powerful enough to run these complex simulations, so devs had to limit A-Life to balance performance. In the game, mutants hunt, bandit raids, and other stalkers loot bodies of their own. You can sit on a hill and watch a fight happen below you without lifting a finger. The game doesn't revolve around you, which makes it feel incredibly real. And the last part of S.T.A.L.K.E.R, of course, is the atmosphere. Just listen to this ambient. What do you hear? Loneliness, emptiness, horror. It's not just a low background music. It is a sound that crawls deep inside your head. It changes the way you sing. It quietly drives you mad. While you are staring into the fog, trying to listen for danger, this ambient noise is already inside you. You cannot tell whether those distant sounds are real or whether you're finally losing your mind. This audio nightmare perfectly matches the visual poetry of decay. Rusty Soviet trucks, dead forests, and empty concrete apartments under permanent gray sky. It feels real because it is based on a real place. But the true heart of this atmosphere is the ultimate contrast. The zone is terrifying. It is pitch black. You're exhausted, you're bleeding, and you're completely out of ammo. You're ready to give up. But then then you see flickering light in the distance. You find these stalkers sitting around a campfire. One of them pulls out the old acoustic guitar and starts to play. You sit down next to them, open a can of tourist delight, and for just 2 minutes you feel safe. That contrast is addictive. The deeper the terror of the zone, the warmer that campfire feels. And that is the exact reason why players can never truly leave this place. For a very long time, the official story of S.T.A.L.K.E.R was over. Call of Pripyat came out way back in 2009, and then nothing. Official development stopped. There was an announcement of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, but then back in 2012 it froze again for a known amount of time. This is where the mod makers stepped in. They didn't just patch the bugs, they kept the zone alive. For over a decade, independent developers built entirely new storylines, combined maps, and upgraded the engine. They turned a niche trilogy into the endless universe. Without them, S.T.A.L.K.E.R would have died a long time ago. But if you look at the community today, it feels different. It feels quiet, almost dead. The old forums are mostly inactive. The massive wave of hype has cooled down. Time passed, people grew up. And then release of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 shifted the focus of the mainstream audience. The golden age of modding feels like it is behind us. Or people just lost interest in the game. Yet the classic old school mods are never truly forgotten. They are like ancient artifacts buried deep in the history of the game. Hardcore players still talk about them. They still download them. And sometimes a talented developer takes one of these old forgotten masterpieces and bring it into the new modern era. For example, everyone knows about Anomaly now. A lot of mod packs based on Anomaly were released over the last few years. They made a lot of changes, both in terms of gameplay and the overall feel of the game. The story hasn't changed. This Anomaly is a free play mode where you can play as whoever you like, however you like. But my video isn't about Anomaly. Today we are going to look at some old good mods that were released between 2010 and 2018 and were warmly welcomed by the community, namely Secret Trails 2. Secret Trails 2, which is based on the OGSR engine. Let me take you back for a bit. For me, Secret Trails 2 isn't just another title on the list. It was the very first S.T.A.L.K.E.R mod I ever tried. And honestly, the story surprised me. It's a dark, well-written prequel that actually cares about the lore of the zone. But man, it was a product of its time. Back then, modders loved one thing in particular, making you run endless, exhausting running. You would cross 3 different maps just to get 2 lines of text from a quest NPC. And the second you finish reading, you had to turn around and run all the way back. It sounds stupid by today's standards, but it was a trick, a brilliant, painful trick. It made a short story feel like a massive, epic journey. More importantly, it forced you to sit with the lonelies. It gave you hours of empty time to just breathe in that heavy S.T.A.L.K.E.R atmosphere. But today we have the new OGSR edition. Suddenly, this dusty old mod has dynamic lighting, smooth frame rates, and beautiful modern visuals. And that's where things get complicated. It is actually worth it. See, if you grew up in a post-Soviet country, you don't need high-end graphics to feel the S.T.A.L.K.E.R vibe. We know this atmosphere by heart. We see pieces of it every single day in our real-world towns, our old concrete neighborhoods, and our rusty landscapes. For us, the original buggy, unpolished junk was the authentic experience. The pain was part of the art. The OGSR engine is a beautiful visual refreshment. It makes the game smooth, but does S.T.A.L.K.E.R truly need it? Or does this modern polish slowly wash away the raw, brutal souls that made the original mod a masterpiece in the first place? So what is the mod actually about? Secret Trails 2 flips everything you know about the franchise on its head. You step into the boots of S.T.A.L.K.E.R, but long before he became the legendary me we chased in the original game. You wake up in a completely unfamiliar corner of the zone, driven by a simple, deeply personal goal, to find your lost brother. But the zone doesn't care about family. Very quickly your personal rescue missions get swallowed by something much larger and darker. You get dragged into the inner workings of mysterious factions, including a completely different look at the monolith, long before they become the mindless fanatics we know today. It's a slow-burn detective story wrapped in radioactive rot, showing you the raw, unpolished origins of a legend. It builds an alternate story that keeps you guessing, proving that these old-school modders could write a narrative just as gripping as the official developers. So let's ask ourselves again, why do we love S.T.A.L.K.E.R? It always comes back to the atmosphere. With this new OGSR engine refresh, the game looks undeniably beautiful. It runs smoothly, doesn't crash every 20 minutes, and the update visuals and spatial audio are breathtaking. In a lot of ways, this engine upgrade truly gives you a second soul to a 15-year-old mode. But if I'm being completely honest, something feels a bit lost in transition. The old unpolished atmosphere had a raw, terrifying edge to it. The flat lighting, the grainy textures, and even the clunky jank made the zone feel colder, more unpredictable, and much more horrific. Maybe I only say this because I can't let go of the past. Maybe my brain just rejects the new. But a small piece of that original, haunted soul vanishes when you smooth out all the wrinkles. If you truly want to feel the authentic, bleak vibe of that era, you almost need to experience the original mod as it was born, or perhaps pair it with something like the Autumn Aurora mode, which enhances the game while fiercely protecting that dead, depressing autumn color palette. See, for a lot of European and American players, Stalker is this fascinating enigma. They love it, but they can never truly feel the vibe. But the second a Western audience boots up an old school mod like this, they don't need the pretend anymore. They feel it. It's a very specific heavy kind of depression vibe. It's the weight of dying world, the silence of isolation, and a cold grey reality that doesn't care if you survive. Now take that bleak, heavy depression and mix it with our modern ADHD attention spans. That combination is a brutal wall. In a world of instant dopamine, asking someone to walk through a depressing radioactive wastelands for 20 minutes just to deliver a letter is a madness. For most people today, finishing a mode like Secret Trails 2 is almost completely impossible. The boredom wins. The modern brain demands a shortcut that isn't there. That is why, if you really want to understand this culture, my advice is simple: try the original mod first. Don't get me wrong, for me, playing the OGSR edition was a great experience. It was something new, incredibly stable, and honestly good enough to make me fall in love with the game all over again. But it's still not the true OG experience. The modern engine fixes the bugs, but it also cleans up the rust. And in the zone, the rust is where the soul lives. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. This is a brand new chapter for me and a completely new space to share these thoughts. If you enjoy this deep dive into the haunted corners of game design, let me know down below. Drop a comment, hit the like button, and let me know if you want to see more content like this. If you are, my new audience, is interested, we have a lot of more anomalies to uncover and a lot of more stories to tell. So thank you again and see you in another video.